What's up guys, Jim Yosef here and welcome to a brand new video and welcome to today's dose of transfer gossip. Today is Saturday, the 19th of August. And we've got a lot to get through today, so just before we get started, as always, if you could show support by leaving a like rating, that'd be absolutely awesome. If you're new to my channel, make sure to press that subscribe button for daily FIFA content and press the notifications tab next to it to receive alerts about my videos. If you missed yesterday's video, it'll be down below in the description box. And today's question of the day is going to be, do you think Messi will ever leave Barcelona? So let me know your answers down below in the comments section, and also that does tie into a bit later on in this episode. But now let's jump on to confirmed deals. The very first one is a contract extension. The player is Winston Reid for West Ham. He signed a 6-year contract until 2023. Next up we got on to Coyote, a striker Man City signed yesterday from a team I think in Austria, and now he's going straight out on loan to Girona FC in Spain for the season. I think so far this summer, City have loaned like 5 players to them now. Then we got Filipovic going to Konyaspor in Turkey from Austria Vienna for a fee of just over £1 million. Then move on to another centre-back. This time it's going to be Van Dam from LA Galaxy, and he's now joined a team in Belgium called Royal Antwerp. They're not on FIFA 17 if I'm correct, but they should be on FIFA 18 because I believe they got promoted. And the fee for that one is £180,000. Next up we got on to Rossettini, an Italian centre-back going to Genoa from Torino for a fee of £1.8 million. Then we've got Pizzea going to Fiorentina from Real Betis on loan for the season. The fee for that one is also £450,000. And next up we've got an Italian striker by the name of Caputo. Now he has joined Empoli from a team called Virtus Entella, I think that's how you say his name, for £2.7 million, and this year got a silver team of season card. Next up, we move on to Kevin Prince Boateng. He was officially released from Las Palmas the other day at mutual consent and for personal reasons, I think it was. But now he has joined Frankfurt in the Bundesliga. It's obviously a free transfer, and he underwent a medical yesterday. And basing it off last season, it could be a very good deal for Frankfurt, being a free transfer off a very solid season. Next up, we go on to Jason Murillo going to Valencia from Inter Milan on a 2-year loan deal. And that does also include a mandatory purchase option. Of what I'm aware of so far, they haven't actually mentioned how much they have to pay for him when that option does come into play. I'm assuming, I think I read somewhere, like 15 to 20 million euros. And if he keeps similar stats to that for FIFA 18, he could be a very nice and cheap option for starter teams. Next though, gone to second player for Valencia yesterday, another centre-back this time, is going to Gabriel from Arsenal. He's joined them for 12 million euros or £10 million on a 5-year contract. And included in that contract is an 18 million euro termination clause or release clause, whatever you want to call it. So I'm pretty sure Valencia, and just like Murillo, if he has a similar card on FIFA 18, it could be a good pairing for the start of the game. Next though, gone to Matuidi, finally completed switch to Juventus, and before it was delayed a little bit because PSG and Juve, they're struggling to work out a fee for him, but now it's all official. There's actually quite a bit to cover about him. So the initial fee they're paying for him is just 20 million euros, but there's also bonuses on top of that of 10.5 million pounds depending on how many games he plays. So the maximum amount of money it could cost them is 30.5 million euros as a 3-year contract. And if you convert that to pounds, it's 18.2 million pounds up front, a potential 9.6 mil in additional fees, so in total 27.8 million pounds. And the final confirmed move today is going to one for Tottenham. Surprise, surprise, they've finally made a signing as Davinson Sanchez from Ajax for a fee. It's a club record one, apparently in the region of 40 million pounds. Some sites are saying 30 to 36 mil, others are saying 40 million pounds. But either way, it's a club record fee, a 6-year contract, and it's now subject to a medical and a work permit. Now Tottenham's defence already is fantastic, so Davinson Sanchez, he makes that area even better because this guy has got so much potential about him. It may be quite a lot of money, but in regards to how long he could be a great player for, it could be a very good investment. And the fact that clubs like Real Madrid and Barca had interest in him, in my opinion, that shows how much of a talent he is. But now let's move on to potential deals. The very first one is according to BBC Sports. So apparently West Ham have told Scotland midfielder Robert Snodgrass he can lead the club this summer. Now bearing in mind he only joined them back in January as a potential replacement for Dimitri Payet, who went to Marseille, and it really didn't work out too well, but to be fair to him, at Hull City, he was pretty solid. And I think so far this summer, I've actually seen a rumour saying potentially he could be going back to the Championship. And next up, according to Daily Mail, Toby Alderweireld's contract talks with Tottenham have stalled because he wants parity with the club's top earners. Now basing off a list that came out last week, I'm pretty sure Tottenham's current highest earners are Harry Kane and Hugo Lloris. Now, given how good and highly rated Tobu Alderweireld actually is, and honestly considered one of the best centre-backs in the whole Premier League, I think Tottenham should offer him a contract that really represents how good he actually is. And something that Danny Rose mentioned last week in that interview again, is that he wants to be paid how much he's actually worth, as well as other players in that Spurs team. And Alderweireld, again, I mentioned before, he's one of the best around, so to be honest, his new deal should represent that. And next though, we've got more about Diego Costa and potential move away from Chelsea. So I'll get onto it in a second, while there's actually an Everton badge there. So first up, Sky did tweet saying Diego Costa says Chelsea are pricing him out of a move back to Atletico Madrid. And a quote from Diego Costa does say, "I think Chelsea should take into account everything that I've done. If it was down to me, I'd be playing." And Costa has also admitted that Atletico are not close to meeting Chelsea's current valuation despite weeks of negotiations. And as according to ESPN, the final bit does refer to the Everton badge. So Sky Sports today have said Everton manager Royal Koeman has admitted he'd be open to signing Chelsea for Diego Costa on loan. Now, I do imagine Everton aren't the only Premier League side currently thinking the exact same thing, because it is pretty clear Diego Costa does not want to go back to Chelsea. He really wants Atletico Madrid, but if you're not willing to pay how much Chelsea value him at, a loan deal to a Premier League side may be worth it. Even if it is until January, where Atletico can then sign him properly. I mean, they could sign him now, but they can't actually play him until January. Next up, we go on to Patrick Roberts, and according to Daily Record today, Patrick Roberts is returned to Celtic on loan from Man City and is expected to be unveiled next week. And of what I've seen so far on social media, a lot of Celtic fans really like him. They'll probably be very happy getting back on loan, and apparently so far this summer has been able to move to Southampton. Next up, we go on to Chris Wood, linked to Burnley again. So first up, according to Daily Mirror, Burnley is set to sign 25-year-old lead striker Chris Wood in a £15 million deal after their first offer was rejected. And according to Sky Sports News, Leeds have offered the striker a new 3-year contract extension to try and fend off interest from Burnley, but as of right now, it seems he wants to move to the Premier League. And that could be a big loss for them. Next up, we go on to Hatem Ben Arfa. As move to PSG really didn't work out too well, and according to Paris United today, Ben Arfa's ideal scenario is for PSG to let him go back to Nice on a free transfer. And his form for Nice the season before last was absolutely insane. I think he scored like 17 goals or something, so return back to him could be very good for him. Link up to Wesley Sneijder, Mario Balotelli, you've got Sarri in there, as well as multiple other players. And my personal opinion, I think he'll be a Nice player by the end of the transfer window. Next up, we go on to Cedric of Southampton today. According to Evening Standard, Chelsea will have to spend considerably more than £20 million to sign Southampton's defender, Cedric, this month. And I have mentioned it a few more times, but Chelsea, they're trying to bring in 3 more players for Conte before deadline day. And next up, according to Daily Record, Crystal Palace are interested in signing Scotland international Oliver Burke from RB Leipzig, but will need to offer £18 million to secure his services. He did only join Leipzig 1 year ago from Nottingham Forest for a fee, I think it's like £13 million, and last season he rarely played. There were rumours saying potentially he's actually feeling homesick. So Leipzig could cash in for like £5 million profit after 1 year, or they could try him out for 1 more season and see how things work out. Next up, we move on to Mamadou Sakho, and it takes them to West Bromwich Albion, according to various different sources. West Brom are interested in signing Mamadou Sakho from Liverpool, and Liverpool still want £30 million for him. Sky also saying West Brom have made an inquiry for him, and Paul George from the Times today is saying, however, Sakho is hoping for a move to either Crystal Palace, where he was out on loan last season, or West Ham United. And there are a lot of reports saying potentially Johnny Evans could be going to Man City from West Brom for a big fee, like £25 to £35 million, and that could cause a snowball effect for some transfers. For example, Kevin Wim has been linked to West Bromwich Albion, as well as Mamadou Sakho and Ben Gibson. So if Evans does go to Man City, which right now does look pretty likely, it could mean a lot of other transfers do happen. Next up, we've gone to Mustafi. According to Sky Sports today, Arsenal have rejected a loan approach from Inter Milan for Mustafi. They want at least £35 million to defender, even though he only joined 1 year ago. And given the fact that Arsenal are somewhat short of centre-backs as it is right now, I honestly can't see this one happening. And I suppose it does tie in the fact that Inter, they got rid of Murillo to Valencia today, and it's not just Sky Sports reporting it, Demars has also said the same thing. Although saying that, I'm pretty sure he actually works for Sky Italia. Next up, we move on to Julian Draxler, linked to Arsenal today. And over the last 2 days or so, a lot of reports are coming out that potentially PSG may be open to selling Draxler this summer, as they have now got Neymar in Draxler's position from last season. And according to the Times today, Arsenal are seriously considering making a raid for PSG winger Julian Draxler. But something to consider about this one is that Arsenal, they've been to Draxler for like 3 or 4 years now. It hasn't happened so far up until this point in time, but potentially this summer, it could well change. Apparently PSG, they're asking for just £32 million. Now if a team does get in for that cheap, by the way, that's an absolute steal right there. But according to ESPN today, Paris Saint-Germain will not entertain the possibility of sending Germany international Julian Draxler this summer. So some sides are saying potentially PSG, they could be open somewhat to selling him this summer, others though, he won't be going at all. And now we go on to some big news from yesterday regarding Coutinho and a potential switch to Barcelona. So the breaking news yesterday is that Barca made another bid for Coutinho worth £118 million, which did include some add-ons which I'll get to in a moment, and Liverpool, they rejected it immediately. So the breakdown of Barca's bid for Coutinho, we're seeing Liverpool receive £82.1 million up front with a further £36.5 million in additional fees. So now let's go over some of these potential add-ons, and the very first one, to be fair for a team like Barca, is very achievable. It's winning multiple trophies in the same season. So that one can be crossed off very easy. The next one is winning multiple Champions League titles. Again, for a club like Barca, it's not fully impossible. The next one, winning the Ballon d'Or or the world's best player. So bearing in mind, like I said before, Barca, they're offering £36.5 million in total for all the additional fees. And so far, I've covered just 3 of the 5. It includes winning multiple Champions League titles, multiple trophies, and the Ballon d'Or. The next one is winning multiple trophies and the Ballon d'Or in the same season. And the final part does say a payment of the basic £18 million fee is staggered over 5 years. Now something to bear in mind very quickly is that Barca, I'm pretty sure when they sold Neymar to PSG, they received a whole €222 million in one go. Also remember that Barca, they signed Paulinho from Guangzhou Evergrande in China for €14 million just a couple days ago. So it does seem that now they have 2 key targets remaining. One of them, of course, being Coutinho. The other is Dembele from Dortmund to help fill that Neymar void. So back onto my initial point, Barca, they got the Neymar fee all up front, but now they're only offering £18 million over 5 years for one of their key targets. The Daily Mirror said Liverpool's official response to Barca's bid for Coutinho has been to demand no further contact. According to Paul Joyce again, Coutinho has told Klopp already he doesn't want to play for Liverpool again, but the club will not sell. Coutinho views Barca's interest as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity after the departure of Neymar to PSG. And the final bit about Coutinho today is from Luis Suarez. Apparently, he told Barca that signing Coutinho is not the solution to their current on-field problems. And now a very short one according to Kicker in Germany today, Dortmund's chief executive said Barca are not even close to meeting their valuation of forward Ousmane Dembele. So as it seems right now, Barca, they might struggle getting their 2 key targets. And now we have got another update regarding Mbappe, a potential move away from Monaco to Paris Saint-Germain. So yesterday, he was fully left out of the Monaco team in a league match. And the week before that, he was put onto the bench. So it seems that as of right now, the transfer speculation is somewhat affecting him. And Sky Italia Arsene Monaco are asking PSG for €200 million or £182 million, and so far PSG have offered €155 million or £141 million plus add-ons. And the final one today also includes Mbappe as well as another player, which I'll get into in just a moment. So according to beIN Sports, Man City's owners are telling fans to be patient because they'll soon be involved in the biggest transfer in the history of football. Now in my opinion, that narrows it down to 2 players only. One of them is Mbappe, and the reason for that, if he doesn't join PSG this summer, and they're already asking for €200 million by the way, then next year if he has another good season, his fee will increase even more. And the second player again, it's just my opinion, I think it could be Messi. So let me explain why then. The very first reason, he would be working under Pep Guardiola again. And even Gerard Piqué said a couple days ago, Barca at this point in time, since he's joined them, it's the first time he feels that Barca are worse than Real Madrid. They're definitely in a very rough spot right now because Real Madrid, they're starting to accelerate away from them. The young talent they've got, the squad they've got, in my opinion on paper, it's a fair amount better than Barca's at this moment. So that is the on-field issues, but on top of that, the Barca fans, they seem like they're protesting right now against the Barcelona board. So to sum it up, if it doesn't get sorted very soon, in my opinion, Messi, he could consider his future. And I'm also pretty certain he hasn't even signed a new contract with Barca just yet. But that is going to be the final one for today's video. So as always, if you enjoyed it, show support by leaving a like rating. That'd be absolutely awesome. If you're new to my channel, make sure to press that subscribe button for daily FIFA content and press notifications tab next to it to receive alerts about my videos. If you missed yesterday's video, it's down below in the description box. And today's question of the day, do you think Messi will ever leave Barcelona? Let me know your answers down below in the comment section. So thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time.